Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Tom.
Hey, it's day 2 of our history unit. I do enjoy history, I'll be honest. And
Me too.
Today, we're going to be finishing up our unit on money. How did money come about? Why do we have the money that we have today? Where's it going to go in the future? Things are changing so fast, especially because of technology. Who knows what it's going to be like in another couple years? Things really are just going at blazing speed, a speed really fast. We're going to talk about how societies are heading toward this cashless method or cashless way in the very near future.
Indeed, and cash is still around. I am concerned about this when I go back to the U.S. to travel or visit my family. I'm always worried, gee, are they still taking cash here? Do I have to totally use a debit card? But yeah, they take cash. It's no big deal. Cash or credit, they're both acceptable. So cash is still quite strong, and it's going to be around for quite some time. But as we said last time, we've got some new technologies coming around. We've got various ways to make payments for things that are all digital with just numbers on a screen, but digital cash and electronic money seems to be the wave of the future, so we'll continue talking about what's next for money. So let's get to it. Let's read the entire contents of today's lesson, and we'll be right back to talk about it.
Societies can go cashless in many ways. The emergence of credit and debit cards turn money into data, paving the way for other technologies. People can now transfer money via systems like PayPal, make use of digital wallets such as Apple Pay, and can scan QR codes to purchase goods. There are a number of benefits to going cashless. Some relate to crime. Cash is relatively easy to steal, so going cashless removes this problem. Moreover, many illegal commodities, such as drugs, are paid for in cash, so these transactions become harder to carry out. In addition, financial crimes like money laundering should become easier to detect, as there will be records of every payment. Other advantages include it becoming easier to make payments abroad, as travelers won't need local currencies. However, as some crimes become less common, others will take their place. Criminals will adapt and find new ways to steal money, as well as hide it to avoid paying taxes. People will have less to fear from robbers, but more from hackers. Thus, security in a cashless society is a massive concern. What's more, if all our money is in digital wallets, we could be left temporarily or permanently broke as a result of a technical error or even a poor internet connection. Nevertheless, it's clear that cash is unlikely to continue playing a part in the future of money. The development of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin shows the direction in which money is headed. Though some may be uncomfortable transitioning to a cashless society, the evolution of money from shells to metal, paper, and finally data indicates that it may not be long before physical money is a thing of the past.
Okay, let's get to it. Let's discuss the contents of today's lesson, and we're going to try to answer the question, what's next for money? What is money going to turn into in the future? So we've been talking about cashless societies, societies that do all their transactions electronically with just numbers. And societies can go cashless in many ways. Okay, there are various ways we've talked about for societies to go cashless, but there are lots of ways that they can do this. Now, the emergence of credit and debit cards turned money into data, paving the way for other technologies. So that's how things got started toward having a cashless society. Remember, back in 1946, the first credit card came out. So we've got credit cards, and now we've got debit cards. And yeah, those turn money into data. When you go to a store and you buy yourself a new suit that's going to cost you, what, 20,000 NT dollars or something like that, you don't pull 20,000 NT dollars out of your pocket. pocket, you just pull out a little piece of plastic and they scan it, and that represents the 20,000 NT dollars you need to pay for the suit. You don't actually use the cash at all.
I wanted to mention this word emergence. It's in the second sentence. If you don't know what this word is, you might guess it has something to do with emergency, but it does not. Emergence here just means when something comes into being or it comes into view. So the emergence of credit, when we first started seeing credit and debit cards. Yeah, Tom just said that it turns money into data. So you're actually just shifting money from one place to another, but it's all done electronically and there's no real money exchanging hands. Now, when you pave the way for something or someone, it just means you prepare the way for somebody coming behind you or something that follows to have an easier way. For example, before a road is paved, it's usually dirt or full of gravel, which is small rocks. And it's not very smooth. It's kind of hard to walk on or hard to drive on. But once you pave it with that nice asphalt, that black color that's on our roads and streets, it's just a lot smoother. And so that's where this phrase, paving the way for someone or pave the way for somebody or something comes from. Just makes it easier for other technologies.
Yeah, to make something easier to happen in the future, like electricity paved the way for people to stay up late at night. They didn't usually stay up late before because they didn't have electric lights. They had to go to bed early, but electricity paved the way for people to stay up late. Now they stay up to midnight, 1 o'clock or whatever, because they can leave the light on all night if they want. So in any case here, this paved the way for other technologies. The credit cards and debit cards made it possible for us to have other technologies. I did want to mention the word data there. Stephanie and myself both pronounce this word as data, but data is also correct. Okay, now people can now transfer money via systems like PayPal. They can make use of digital wallets such as Apple Pay and can scan QR codes to purchase goods. So these are various ways for you to purchase things using credit or electronic data, basically. So you can transfer money via PayPal or other platforms online. Transfer just means to move something from one place to another. Maybe you don't like your current university, so you transfer to another university, or you can transfer to another department or something like that. In this particular case, you just move money from one place to another. Sometimes in the past, when I was not doing so well in Taiwan, I had my parents transfer money from my account in the U.S. to my account here in Taiwan. I haven't needed to do that for many years, but that did happen once in the past. Transfer that money, and that was just a bank-to-bank transfer, but now there are other systems like PayPal, which I have used, but I guess there are some other ways to do this.
Yeah, PayPal came out originally. I know a lot of folks in the States at least are using Venmo to transfer money to pay somebody. So if I wanted to pay my sister some money, instead of writing her a check and waiting for the bank to send it, I would use Venmo. I still use PayPal all the time, especially if I buy things online, on eBay in particular. I wanted to mention this via or via. It's pronounced both ways. I think we both say via, Tom. It just means through. So that's how this is happening. They make use of digital wallets. Digital just means computer related. And this is a system that's very popular in China where people are just using their digital wallets. You'll see someone take their smartphone and swipe it over some scanner and it's paid for that way. I don't do that. I like to really keep track of exactly where my money's going, and people use Line to pay for a lot of things these days. I don't as well. So you can also scan your QR codes to purchase goods. And purchase here simply means to buy something. There's really no difference except that, they're two different words. And if you get tired of saying buy, use purchase.
There you go. Purchase. Okay. Buy, purchase, pay money for something, and you get that thing. And there are a number of benefits to going cashless. Okay. Yes, obviously, we're going cashless for a reason. Otherwise, why would we do it? Why, if we like our cash, let's just keep on using it. But obviously, we think there are benefits to using data instead of actual cash. So, yeah, there are a number of benefits. There are quite a few. A number of just means a certain number. It could be a lot. It could be a real lot. Who knows? But in this particular case, there are some benefits to going cashless. Let's find out what some of those are.
Let's see here. Some relate to crime. Cash is relatively easy to steal. Yeah, although, people will want to steal credit cards too, at least in the States. Here, I feel like I'm a little safer because my name is obviously a foreign name. So people tend not to, want to steal my credit card. But, yeah, it's just easy if they see cash. They can just grab it. It doesn't have your name on it. They don't have to prove that it's theirs, It's a good way to actually get away with a crime. Now, the problem is that a lot of our illegal transactions that are done out there, you almost always see crooks or robbers. Crooks is another word for, robbers, thieves. The word gangster shows up on my bank's ATM screen. We only use gangster, guys, if we're talking about the Hei Shou Hui. So, yeah, don't say, oh, he's a gangster, unless he really is in the mob, that's like 5-10 steps above just a regular robber or a thief. That stuff's serious. So, yeah, there are a lot of illegal things like drugs that are paid for in cash. Commodities, typically you use commodities when you're talking about investing in the futures. There's a futures market on the stock market, and people will guess what the price of sugar or wheat or oil or gas is going to be in a week or a month. And it's just a way to risk that. Sometimes you can make a lot of money in the futures market and sometimes you can't. But a commodity is a raw material. Usually it's some sort of agricultural product. Like I mentioned, sugar and wheat, copper, coffee. Those are types of commodities. Here, we're using it to symbolize something that's valuable. And illegal drugs are very valuable.
Yeah, commodities are kind of like raw materials and stuff like that, but the examples we're giving here are bad things like drugs and other things like that. So yes, most of the time these illegal commodities like drugs, amphetamines, etc., they are paid for in cash, so these transactions become harder to carry out. That might also include things like illegal animal parts like elephant tusks and stuff like that. Those are probably paid for in cash. So if you have electronic transactions, it's more harder to carry out those deals, so that might be a good thing here. Of course, when you purchase something and you give someone money for that thing, that is a transaction. So again, these transactions become more difficult to carry out. And so here we've got the verb phrase to carry out. That just means to do something, to perform some kind of task from beginning to end.
Yeah, maybe your boss gives you a task, and if you carry it out, you handle it. You do whatever it takes to get that task finished in a good way to carry out. To execute it, you could talk about that. So, yeah, it's just easier dealing with cash if you're a criminal because it's harder to trace unless someone's marking the money that they give you, and that happens sometimes. Well, we're going to take a quick break, listen to our Chinese teacher, and then we'll be back to finish this particular discussion on what's next for money.
Hello, my name is Shelby. 现在中文讲解金钱发展第二天。第一段，社会可以不用现金了。第二句，信用卡的出現將金錢變成數據，為科技鋪路。主詞 The emergence 是出現、浮現，由 emerge E-M-E-R-G-E 做詞類變化。字尾是 C-E， 不要誤會成 emergency， 字尾 C-Y， 那是緊急，發音也不同。動詞 turn A into B， 將 A 變成 B。逗點之後 paving the way for 是省略關係代名詞 which， 將 pave 铺路加上 ing， 铺向成功之路 pave the way to success。 第三句，人们可以转账使用并且扫描 QR code， 转账借由像 PayPal 这种系统。 Via 是介系词，借由，类似 by means of 或者是 through。中间动词 make use of 是利用，可在 use 前面加上形容词，表示如何利用。例如加上个 good， make good use of your talent， 善加利用你的才华。第二段，无现金有一些好处。第一句形容词 a number of 一些，可以在 a 跟 number 之间加上形容词 great或者 immense immense 大量的或 small 等，来表达数量的多少。of 后面的名词是可数， benefits 指好处利益。第二句，有些与犯罪有关。 relate to something 与什么有关。 She is related to the royal family， 她与王室有亲戚关系。第四句，再者许多 illegal commodities 非法商品是用现金付款的。支付方式不同，搭配的介系词也不太一样。用现金 in cash， 用信用卡 with credit cards， 用支票 by check， 所以呢，这些交易变得更难进行。生字 transaction 交易买卖， a transaction with the bank 跟银行交易，而 carry out 执行进行， carry out a plan 实施计划， carry out a promise 实践诺言。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, let's continue to talk about some of the benefits to going cashless. Again, it will be more difficult for illegal commodities to be sold because those interactions or those transactions are paid for in cash. If everything's electronic, they won't be able to sell those nasty drugs. And in addition, financial crimes like money laundering should become easier to detect, as there will be records of every payment. So indeed, if you sell drugs or things like that, or if you're involved in prostitution or gambling or whatever, and you don't want to pay taxes on that money, then you launder that money. You send it to an offshore account somewhere, but you need to do that in cash. If you do it electronically, well, then there'll be some kind of record of that transaction, and the law enforcement authorities will notice that, and it will be very difficult for you to get away with that. So these are some examples of financial crimes, things that involve money.
That's right. So in addition, financial crimes. Financial just means it's related to finance or money. Some people are studying financial administration or financial planning in college to give people, they use that degree to encourage people to prepare for the future, to save for retirement, things like that. Financial just means it's related to finances or money. So maybe it'll help with these financial crimes. I found that criminals are pretty smart. If you take away one way for them to commit a crime, they'll come up with 3 different ways that you've never heard of. So it's not going to help with crime, I'm afraid. But yeah, supposedly it would be easier to track because there are records, electronic records. Other advantages include it becoming easier to make payments abroad, as travelers won't need local currencies. This is one of my favorite parts of going electronic, because now when I go to Europe or even Japan, I don't have to necessarily go to the bank, get traveler's checks, or even get Japanese bills, where they have the paper money. I just take my debit card. Yes, I bring a little cash just in case. But you can just take your debit card and credit cards and use those while you're on a trip. And it's so much easier. I don't have to worry about someone breaking into my hotel room, finding my traveler's checks, stealing them. It's a mess.
Yeah, that brings back memories of the old days of traveling. When you went to other countries, you had to bring along some traveler's checks, and you would exchange money at the airport. That's a thing of the past now with electronic transactions. So here in the next paragraph it says, however, as some crimes become less common, others will take their place. And that's probably pretty much on line with what you said there.
Totally.
Criminals will always think of another way to make money, to beat the system, basically. So, yeah, some crimes will become less common, okay, but there will be new kinds of crimes that we haven't even thought of yet. And criminals will adapt and find new ways to steal money as well as hide it to avoid paying taxes. So, yeah, the Russians and the North Koreans are already way ahead of us on this one. They've already figured out new ways to steal money and then to hide it so that they don't need to pay taxes or so they don't get caught by the international police force and they will get away with it fair and square. Well, not really fair, but they'll definitely get away with it. And people will have less to fear from robbers, but more from hackers. So, yeah, you don't have to worry about somebody stealing cash from you as you're walking down the street, but you might have some hackers getting into your account. You might find some interesting emails showing up in your email inbox saying, hey, you gotta call this number or you gotta make some payment here or else we're going to totally destroy all the financial files in your system or whatever. So yeah, you gotta watch out for those hackers.
Yeah, what a great skill to have. They're white hat hackers. Those are the good guys, and the black hackers, those are the bad guys. So be careful. They can get into your computer or even your bank account, and they're unauthorized and they just cause a lot of damage and they steal a lot of money. So security in a cashless society is a massive concern. We've already seen this. Massive just means really big. If I wanted to exaggerate, I could say I have a massive headache. I need to go and take something and lie down. But massive could be used with anything. It could be something real like that mountain is massive. How are we going to hike up there? Well, it says what's more, if all our money is in digital wallets, we could be left temporarily or permanently broke. This happened one morning. Citibank is my U.S. account, and I use it a lot to transfer money back and forth from here to America. And one morning, I sat down, and the whole website was down for a good, I would say, 18 hours because somebody had broken in, they'd hacked in. And it's a horrible feeling because if you need money right then, you're kind of wandanla because there's no way to get it while they're fixing their computer system.
Yep, you could be left temporarily or permanently broke as a result of a technical error or even a poor internet connection. Temporarily means just for a short time, but permanently that means forever, so watch out for that. You might have to live under a bridge or something, so watch out for that. And nevertheless, here it says in the next paragraph, it's clear that cash is unlikely to continue playing a part in the future of money. So even though we do have these possible problems, still, nevertheless, cash is going to be less and less important in the future. The development of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin shows the direction in which money is headed. Now, what is a cryptocurrency?
Well, it's hard to explain, and we don't have time to explain, but it's a digital currency, and people don't have to go through the banks to actually take advantage of this. It's way too complicated. If you don't know what you're doing, stay away from it. It's too risky. You can lose a lot of money. That's all I'm going to say for now. So, they are developing cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Though some may be uncomfortable transitioning or moving to a cashless society, that's me. I don't want to. The evolution or the big change of money from shells to metal to paper, and now finally we're on to data. It indicates that it may not be long before physical money, things you can actually touch and carry with you, it may not be long before this physical kind of money is a thing of the past. Yeah, I'm sure it'll happen at some point. I'm just going to hang on to real money for as long as I can.
But if it all falls apart, hopefully we can go to the ocean and pick up some of those shells.
Yeah, good luck with that, Tom.
And use those, yeah. Okay, well, that brings us to the end of our lesson for today. It's time now to listen to our Chinese teacher.
第4句，此外，像洗钱这类的会变得更容易察觉。第4句中间 money laundering launder 是洗涤、洗钱，也可以说 money laundering L-A-U-N-D-R-Y。 据说原来是某黑帮分子开了自助洗衣，借机将黑钱放到投币箱报税来漂白黑钱。还有在国外付款变得更加容易，但是有好处就有坏处。第3段第一句 However， 某些犯罪越来越少，但是其他的犯罪取而代之。后半句 take their place 取代等于 replace them，或者是 take the place of them， 中间所有格 there 不能省略，如果省略就变成 take place， 表示发生，文意就不一样了。第二句，罪犯将适应找到新的方法来偷钱以及藏匿。动词 adapt 使适应或改编 ，adapt to the climate 适应这种气候。顺便介绍类似的拼字，第一个 adopt。adopt 采纳或收养，第二个 adapt adept 熟练的。He is adept at cooking， 他善于烹饪。人们虽然降低恐惧强盗，但是担忧骇客，因此呢，安全措施是一件非常重要的议题。我们到第5句，而且钱都存放于电子钱包，可能因为技术或者是网路暂时或永久地破产。句首 What's more 而且是转折语，表示补充说明，相当于 in addition besides moreover furthermore 或者是 also 等等。动词词组 be left broke， left 原型是 leave， 不完全不及物动词，使变成的意思，后面加上形容词表示状态。Broke 是 break 以前的过去分词，现在是 broken， 但以前用 broke 来表达破产，沿用至今，所以尽管在别的地方已经不再用 broke 这个是当作过去分词，但是说到破产的时候，我们还是习惯 go broke。第4段，很明显的以后现金不太有作用。第2句，加密货币表明发展趋势。Cryptocurrency， 加密货币由 crypto 隐秘的加上 currency 货币结合而成，在 direction 趋势方向的后面有个 in which 的形容词子句， in which 表示在这个趋势中，相当于 where。 动词 is headed， head 使趋向，常写成被动，再加上 for something 表示朝什么而前进。 in which money is headed， 钱朝那方向而去了。以上是今天的讲解，谢谢收听。
That's all the time we have for today, everybody. So please join us again next time. And please continue using cash with a feeling of safety. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.